What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another review. This time for The Flash. Season 8, Episode 16, called The Curious Case of Bartholomew Allen. Now, this episode was it dealt with some main story things, maybe in the sense of the better way to explain that it mentioned the ongoing main storyline stuff, in passing. But let me give you a synopsis. The Flash gets blasted with a shockwave that forces his body to age prematurely. So, basic point along with that synopsis, this episode was all about facing mortality, as in time. You know how in Sesame Street the word of the day would be like whatever. This episode of The Flash, the word of the day is time, because time is what everybody faced. This episode dealt with the mortality of time, and I know I just said that so many times. But the reason why I'm saying it because, well, I say everybody in the form that's in the form of, sorry about that weird jump. Something just happened. But anyway, what I was saying was basically everybody's concept of time is brought to the forefront. But what I mean is, Joe had a big Joe was like the subplot of this episode. Mostly the episode dealt with mostly Barry, and his this battle with this enemy who was just a mad scientist. I don't know if he is a scientist from the comic books, but he basically was a scientist that was trying to find the scientific equivalent of the Fountain of Youth, and that's actually a direct line from the episode. That line comes from Chester. And that's like when they was basically revealing his plan. That's a direct line from Chester. He's trying to find the scientific equivalent of the Fountain of Youth, and that's basically what this episode is. For Joe, it's just for Joe, it's just a metaphorical thing. Like for him, it has something to further his his story about him being retired and not feeling like time is trying to catch up to him and all that type of stuff. We get a surprise guest return in this episode. I'm trying to, and it was like, oh, I didn't expect this person to show up. But it was cute seeing the dynamic between this person talk about this other person when in regards to Barry's secret, because this person has been gone for a way. This person don't know that this other person knows Barry's secret, so it's cute to see that little dynamic. Yeah, the base is that it was outgrown time. This was like an episode that dealt with time, and though I did not, one of the things I did not like about the episode was that we got to see is yet another episode where Barry is being stubborn and hard-headed and won't slow down to listen. But I guess you kind of respect that from a speedster who lives literally in the fast lane. So I guess that's expected for somebody to always want to run and head on into the problem instead of slowing down and try to figure out the right way to do it. But so I guess that's a normal thing. But this was another episode where Barry basically is just so stubborn that he won't listen to everybody until he has a heart-to-heart. And this time the heart-to-heart came from Cecile. But it was a funny and serious episode at the same time. It was funny seeing Barry deal with, if you've seen the trailer, he's dealing with all these different elements of getting old and stuff like that. And yes, he does. When him getting old is not because because of his Speed Force thing. Now, even though it does factor into him getting old, it was done to him by the scientist guy. The scientist guy did something, and now it's causing Barry to age. Which brings me to another reason why I didn't like the episode. Was a missed opportunity to have Barry. It was a missed opportunity to see Barry as old man Barry or old man Flash, as you will. Like that was a missed opportunity. That was a very missed opportunity there to see him as a gray-headed old man. Like we got glimpses of it, but he was wearing his cowl, so like we didn't get to see like his full face as an old man. But that was a missed opportunity. So that was another thing. The last thing was that once, like I said, it was I mentioned this earlier, how the main storyline about Iris and stuff was basically not really the forefront of this episode, and that was just another thing that I kind of didn't like about this episode. It was that where everything was going on, you would think they would try to wrap this up quick to get to the Iris situation, but right now I guess the situation is at a standstill, and they had to deal with this metahuman or villain of the day, as you will. But it was just like, this seems like with everything going on that we know that's going on, this seemed like a little trivial to have this be the basis of the whole episode. But it was. Everything else I did like for the most part, I did like the whole idea of these people dealing with their mortality, and how they come to terms with the changing of the times when it comes to Joe, or accepting the fact that you can't outrun time itself. Nobody can when it comes to Barry. And that was pretty much it. Like, everybody else was just dealing with it, trying to help Barry, but the two main people that affected was Joe and Barry in this episode. And without trying to spoil everything, that's pretty much all I can say. Yeah, the episode was good. The visuals, for the most part, was good for a CW show, and the acting was good to the most part. Like I said, the only acting-wise, the only thing, like I said, I didn't like was the whole, Barry this, and Barry's being stubborn, that type thing. But there was a Ann Stinger that did deal with. This was the only other part that majorly dealt with something that we was previously seeing, and that Ann Stinger, was that someone found out something and they dealt with it because they could see that the other person wasn't thinking clearly. Overall, I would give this episode of The Flash 7 out of 10 big ups, just because it was a decent episode. It wasn't too bad. The episode was enjoyable for the most part. It did make me, smile and laugh a little bit at Barry's old age, and not able to do some of his, the wind tunnel or run too fast because he can't, But it is what it is. But if you enjoyed this review, you hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my TV and movie reviews. And if you enjoyed this review video so much you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, and hit that thanks button. The YouTube gave me a thanks button, and now you can hit that thanks button if you wanna. Only it's up to you, but hit that thanks button as well. And speaking of thanks button, I would also be having a members section only, where you get a members exclusive videos. These videos will be ranging from like copyrighted trailer reactions to full TV, maybe even movie reactions, and copyrighted gameplays. So if that interests you, you want to see me, you want to see trailers that I don't normally post because of copyrights. You want to see me do videos with the copyright music and all that type of stuff in like gameplay videos, or you want to see me react to an actual whole episode of a TV show. Get over there and hit that membership button when it goes live. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Peace out. See you in the next video.